It took me a while, but this is what I finally realized. You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You're not just bad at content. You are scared. Scared of being judged. Scared of looking cringe. Scared that you'll finally put yourself out there and no one will care. And I know that fear because for the longest time, I hid too. I built a brand without ever showing my face. I obsessed over fonts, colors, clever captions, anything that would let me avoid being seen. And when I did post, I'd delete it if it didn't get enough likes in the first hour. I'd spiral if someone made a weird comment. I'd sit with this sick feeling in my chest, like, why does this feel so unsafe? But here's the truth. I wish someone told me earlier. You can't get visible without first being vulnerable. And that's the part no one prepares you for. There's this invisible wall between you and posting. You can see the other side, the people doing it confidently. They are not smarter than you. They are not better than you. But they are posting. They are growing. They are getting seen. And you are stuck behind the glass, watching. It doesn't matter how many ideas you have in your notes app, how many drafts you've saved, how much you want to be consistent. Because the moment your finger hovers over post, something in your brain screams, what if they hate it? What if I sound stupid? What if no one cares? And so, like thousands of others, you do what feels safer. You don't post, or you post once and ghost for 3 weeks. Or you convince yourself you're just planning right now. You're building the strategy. You're waiting for the perfect time. But deep down, you know what's really going on. You are not strategizing. You are stalling. And that's okay, because for most of us, that invisible wall was built a long time ago. Maybe someone laughed at your idea in school. Maybe you are told not to show off. Maybe you once posted something and it bombed, and now your brain files that under never again. Whatever the reason, the result is the same. You are quiet, not because you have nothing to say, but because somewhere along the way, you learned it wasn't safe to be seen. Here's the thing they don't tell you in all those how to grow videos. This isn't about motivation. It's not even about content. It's about safety. When you go to post and suddenly feel paralyzed, that's not you being lazy. That's your nervous system going into survival mode. Because posting isn't just uploading content. It's exposing yourself. And your brain has evolved over millions of years to protect you from exactly that. Thousands of years ago, being rejected by your tribe wasn't just embarrassing, it was fatal. So, your brain learned to avoid any behavior that could get you judged, exiled, or ridiculed. Fast forward to now. Posting online feels like that same risk. And to make it worse, social media puts your self-worth on public display. Likes, views, comments, silence. A dopamine slot machine designed to keep you addicted and insecure. But let's make this personal for a second. Have you ever recorded a video, watched it back, and felt physically sick? Like Who even talks like that? Why is my voice like that? Delete. That's not the real you talking. That's your ego. The inner critic trying to keep you small. Because the ego doesn't care about your growth. It cares about protection. And anything new, anything visible, anything that risks failure, that's danger. But here is the twist. Visibility isn't a skill, it's a muscle, and most people have never trained it. We scroll past creators who seem effortless, but we didn't see their first 50 awkward posts, their first 10 videos with no views, the early comments from people who didn't get it. Everyone you admire started invisible. Everyone you admire posted before they were ready. Everyone you admire felt fear and posted anyway. So, if you're feeling scared, you're not broken, you're just at the starting line. So how did I beat it? The truth? I didn't beat it all at once. And this is where you want to hear a remarkable story, a big moment that changed everything. There was no big moment, no viral post, no perfect script that suddenly made me fearless. It was slow, awkward, quiet, and it started with one uncomfortable decision. I stopped hiding. I had spent so long creating content that sounded smart but didn't show me. Faceless videos, polished carousels, quotes with zero context. I told myself I was being strategic, but really, I was hiding in plain sight. Because if people didn't know it was me, they couldn't reject me, but they also couldn't connect with me either. So one day, and I remember this vividly, I recorded a video with my face in it, just talking, just me. It wasn't perfect. The lighting was off, my voice cracked, I was sweating, but I posted it. And I told myself, you are allowed to cringe, but you are not allowed to quit. At first, barely anyone watched, but something changed in me. I felt like I finally stepped into the arena. And once I did, I realized something most people never get to see. The fear doesn't fully go away, but your relationship with it changes. Now, when I feel the nerves, I don't see it as a warning sign. I see it as proof I'm doing something real. Because real things are supposed to feel risky. Over time, I built tiny rituals. I gave myself a 3-minute rule to post before I overthought it. I stopped watching my own videos on loop. I muted anyone who triggered self-comparison. I made visibility an non-negotiable, not an if I feel confident today thing. And most importantly, I stopped asking the world for permission to be seen. At some point, I realized something that completely changed how I saw posting. Visibility isn't vanity, it's leverage. The people you follow, buy from, trust, and refer, they're not always the smartest or the most experienced, but they are visible. And because they are visible, they are top of mind. And because they are top of mind, they win. It sounds brutal, but in the online space, the best doesn't always win. The best known does. This is the shift that separates creators from entrepreneurs. Creators post when they feel inspired. Entrepreneurs post because they know their content is working when they are not. Creators worry about likes. Entrepreneurs focus on leverage, turning content into clients, conversations, collaborations. And here is the wild part. Most people don't even realize how expensive it is to stay invisible. No matter how great your offer is, if no one sees it, it doesn't exist. And here is the other trap. We think we are playing it safe by not posting. But staying quiet is the riskiest thing you can do, because someone less qualified, less experienced, maybe even less ethical is posting every day. And they are the ones getting the attention, the trust, the business. So if you're serious about building anything online, a business, a brand, a movement, you can't afford to be invisible anymore. You don't need a content calendar. You don't need a viral video. You just need to start showing up consistently as the most authentic version of you that you're willing to share today. That's it. That's the edge. A few weeks after I started posting regularly, something small happened. Someone messaged me. Actually, someone made a comment. "Hey, I saw your video. That's exactly how I feel. Thank you for saying it." That one message did more for my confidence than any metric ever could, because it made me realize someone out there is waiting for the version of you that's brave enough to show up. Not the perfect version, not the polished version, just the real one. And the longer you wait, the longer they are waiting too. So here is what I want you to do. Don't wait until you feel confident. Don't wait until you have the right camera. I still use my phone. Don't wait until you figure out your niche. Post something today. It can be raw, it can be messy, but make it real, make it yours. Because every time you post, you're not just building a brand, you are building a habit, you are building proof, you are building trust with the one person you need most, yourself. The fear might still be there, but you are allowed to be scared and still hit publish. Let today be the first day you do. And if you do post, please tag me. I'll be the first to cheer you on.